I take the privilege to request Dr. S.K. Nanda sir. I also request him to kindly unmute and be joined and to kindly join here in this international conference with this congregation. Dr. S.K. Nanda, with a big round of applause, we welcome Dr. Nanda, who is connected with us online.
With regards to Rupala Saab, in fact, I was the person who had motivated him to come to this oldest state of India, that is Kalinga, Odisha, and he has been very, very generous enough in coming. In fact, I would request here the organizers that Rupala Saab is not only a tall individual in terms of physical sense, he is also a tall individual in terms of organization. So you can always take his help for taking this forward, because this is a very big task ahead for us, for India as a country, and also for our glory. On the dais, Srimati Mishra ji, Srimati Rathore, Mr. Mishra, Dr. Nanda, Mr. Padhi, and all the other people who have joined in the plenary session. I did not want to further go because I know a lot of plenary sessions have discussed many things. And I just wanted to flag certain issues like there have been a lot of theories as to why people from Kalinga went, why they went, who pushed them out, was there any calamity which was made to push out, was it an Aryan invasion which made them push out, was it the fear of the Ashoka's rebellion, Ashoka's this attack and assault on the Kalinga that shook the people. All these theories I don't think are bunkum, in the sense that this much before also Ashoka, Kalinga state existed, and Kalinga state had already transmitted the Vedic religion into the Southeast Asia. So it was not very much in big sense before the Common Era, and after the Common Era, for nearly about 1,800 years, around 2,000 years, Kalinga state was not at all a warring state, was not at all attacked by any state, was not troubled by any Muslim penetration, and they had a very, very nice integrated society which took care of the citizens, skill set of the people, trade and commerce across the Southeast Asia. I am also wanting to mention here that when Biju Patnaik was the Chief Minister of Odisha, in fact, during his time, I had gone to Indonesia. The Bali Yatra started with us, and the concept was given by him to the Indonesian Prime Minister. And as you know, the Odisha Kalinga people, they celebrate the Bali Yatra. It means their husbands used to go to Indonesia for either business and return. So they always do this Bali Yatra by homage to the gods, so that they can come back safely in the sea voyages back to their homes. In fact, Kalinga, what you call the Bay of Bengal, was earlier called the Kalinga Sagar. It was never called a Bay of Bengal, it was called the Kalinga Sagar. I tend to agree with Mrs. Rath that Kalinga was a state which had three very important elements. Probably plenary sessions must have brought it out. One is the use of coins, use of bricks, and use of iron. And these three things were big exported in big number to China and also to Southeast Asian countries, including Sri Lanka. And they were all dependent. So they used to look like we people in West used to once upon a time look to Bombay as a commercial area. So all the states used to look for Kalinga for its resources, logistics, and also the skillmanship. That is the reason why Mrs. Rath was mentioning 20,000 people were sent. They were not sent, and not just they chose a pull factor. They were asked to be pulled out of Odisha for contributing to the skill set in their countries. And as a result, they got acclimatized into their own areas and they started settling. And there was not a single kind of sociological, what you call antithesis, in the sense that there was no mind of opposition to the integration of these people who came from Kalinga. In fact, Sri Lanka, when it comes to Sri Lanka, we have also to see that Nisanka was the Prime Minister or President of Sri Lanka for a long time, for 20, 35 years. And he was the person who was born out of the wedlock for the marriage of the Kalinga princess with the Sri Lankan Raja. So, to some extent, the marital, what you call the accords, also is to help the integration of Kalinga in the political sense and also in the domination in the commerce and trade areas. I would like to also mention that though Jainism and Buddhism were basically the levers which pulled Kalinga out, means the people wanted to go for what you call broadcasting the religion, particularly after Chandashoka became the Dharmashoka. The fact is that much before it was sent, the Hindu religion and the Vedic texts had also transmitted, and the Vedic and the Brahmins and the Sanskrit language, along with the Pali language, was also exported out of Kalinga, and the export medium was the marine ships. It is said that a lot of literature has been made on how the ships were built, how big were the ships, and how much of problems they used to face on the sea voyages, what kind of difficulties they used to have, including piracy on the way. And yet, these people were skillful enough in guarding and securing the ships, which also carried a lot of things. In fact, when it comes to Europe, Professor Chandinanda mentioned about Europe. In fact, I can say with great focus that the ivory of Kalinga was to be sent to Italy. And Italy's perfumes and other things were brought from those things along with certain modern gadgets. So there is a reference to that. So it means the Kalinga was also not connected only with the Southeast Asia. Kalinga's state was also connected on the backside, on the left side, also with Italy. So practically it was a state which had its own bandwagon and it had its big domineering sense. It was the most, what you call the prevailing modern state. And I'm sure that the Institute of Southeastern Studies, Kalinga and Southeastern Studies, which has done a lot of findings and archaeological excavations. They have come to the theory that the maximum best urban infrastructure was found out in the Kalinga state, including the towers, the gates, the fort gates, the palaces, etc., etc. So it shows that it was a modern state in terms of use of coins, bricks, iron, and also it had a lot of skilled people who used to go there. Probably it was these are the things which Kalinga, why Kalinga was quite important in that kind of thing. And I'm sure that the Kalingas was also a state which was quite strong in terms of security and army. State, and it had very good rulers like Kanishka, like Harshavardhana, the Ganga dynasty rulers. Even the Britishers and other people never used to take them so lightly. And even the Sultanate period also never could siege any areas in those times because, and the people around on the Kalinga state from the Midnapur area till the Andhra coast, which was the larger Kalinga, they were all happy with the state and there was no interference of the government with the people. And people used to have their own trade and business. It was a very big welfare state. And the state had prominence in shipbuilding, in navigation, and also in giving promotion to religion, basically because the Harshavardhana was a Jain ruler. So religion was also one of the reasons why a lot of trade used to take place. Religion and commerce both used to go together. So all this, I think, since Professor Thui is also here today, so I was thinking that with the great patronage from Rupala Sahab, who is here, and also from the One Asia Foundation people, we should be able to now come out with certain studies to what extent the coins, bricks, and the iron was used, and who are the people who use and where it was used, how it was used, so that it would show the links further, and we can be able to show that it was really modern in terms of the skill set of the people who used to do this shipbuilding or this boat craft, and also all kinds of other things, including pottery works, including all kinds of what you call the iron smelting work. And I was told that during the time of the Kalinga rule, the iron which was manufactured or which was being taken up, they are still uncorroded. Means there is no corrosion in those irons. So what kind of literature we can focus? In fact, in Hyderabad and in Andhra Pradesh, certain important historical structures still have the gates, which are the iron pillars, which are still not corroded. And that was all done during the time of this Kalinga. The laborers used to go and do it, and what kind of things they have done. We have not gone deep into those things. I think we have to go also into these kind of things to find out what kind of um, researches we should be able to build up to see that these southeastern states were actually integrally linked up with Kalinga in terms of not only sociology, theology, but also in terms of anthropology. So I think these three profiles also need to be taken up, because I'm sure about the fact that not only trade and commerce was important, but also the food habits, the marriage habits, the customs which we follow in the marriages in Odisha system, the use of betel nut, pan, supari, and also the restrictions which are made normally in this Odisha system. They are also found in Java, Sumatra. I have seen it in Bali myself when I had gone. So all these things have to be further, I think, probed into to find to come out to the fact it was actually one Asia, but it was integrated Asia. There was no foreign influence other than Kalinga, and China was also much dependent on Kalinga, because Huan Seng, the travel writer, writes that a lot of people used to go packed with in the boats to China, not only with trade and commerce, but also with the Buddhist saints. And they used to appear before the China kings. And the China kings used to give them royal welcome and treatment. So it means there was a very integral relationship through trade and commerce and religion. I thought these were my points which I wanted to flag. And I think we should look upon the support of this. Also, the Odisha government. I don't know why Odisha government is faltering back. This is the time when, if Rupala Saab could come from Delhi, why Odisha government cannot be able to take a pride in supporting this program, which is a national, it's a supranational project, which should be able to give fame and name to the government. Of course, that's not my point, but I thought, being a man or son of the soil, I thought that I should also speak on this point to see that the future of this entire project is really a grand success. I must again congratulate all the speakers and the panelists for having contributed tirelessly to the whole proceedings. And I will be great. I am really grateful to Rupala Saab, who has only come only for this conference. And he's a man on whom you can trust for all kinds of patronage, whether he is minister today or MP tomorrow, or again another big position tomorrow. It's not important. Important he supports such programs, and therefore we had very selectively requested him to come. Thank you so much.